It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Ron?
Ron, the Masters National Speed Sport News. John, in this feeling out process of your sponsorship, has there been any big surprise to you as far as the way the sport works?
Probably not in a big way, having been with Speedway Motorsport for the last 8 years. I think what has been, if it is a surprise, how interested the team owners and the members of the teams have been at wanting to get to know us and interested in learning what Nationwide is about and why we took on the sponsorship, and interested in talking to us about what it is about the sport that they love and what it is about sport they'd like to see changed or improved.
Kevin, you're a team owner in the Nationwide Series. As you've had conversations with the Nationwide people prior to this promotion, can you characterize what some of those conversations were like?
Well, I think when they came in, they were very, obviously everything kind of happened last minute, and they were very anxious to get everything activated and going, as from their standpoint, from getting their name out there. But as we've gone into the process, the whole Nationwide team has really asked a lot of questions to the teams of what we thought with the sport, and working with NASCAR and where the series is going and what the series is all about, and so they've been very involved with the teams from not necessarily day one, but once they got their feet on the ground, they've been very involved with the teams as going forward in what we need to make better. So I think as we go forward, I think things are going in a good direction, and from a team owner standpoint, we feel very good about where our particular team is going into next year, and we're happy with everything that's going on too.
As you and Delaney have gotten deeper into team ownership, does it surprise you to hear yourself say things like activation and ROI and things like that?
Yes, it does. But from my standpoint and Delaney's standpoint, we've learned a tremendous amount about the sport that a lot of drivers don't get to really understand about the sport, and really probably never will understand about the sport unless they own a team, just for the fact that it's hard to understand to relate to somebody that a brake rotor costs X amount, or tearing your car up under caution cost me $15,000 for no reason, and there's no way to really take all that in unless you really understand it, and you're sitting there looking at the budgets and writing that check. So it's brought a lot of things to mind that you definitely wouldn't have seen just driving the cars, and from a NASCAR standpoint, I think it's helped my relationship with NASCAR and really understanding where they're coming from, and the most important thing is it's helped me understand where Richard's coming from on a lot of things. When you walk in as a driver and your cars aren't running good, it doesn't just happen to turn around. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of money to go out and do the things you need to do to make it right. So just understanding all those things has probably been a really good thing for me.
Bye.
Kevin, as a driver in the series and also a team owner in the series, there's always been talk about the number of Cup drivers that race in the series on a regular basis, and now there's even more talk about making the Nationwide Series even more of a developmental series and allowing more younger drivers more track time. And you've made the decision to be out of the car this weekend and put Cale in the car. So could you talk a little bit about which way you'd rather have it? Would you rather have NASCAR set down a rule on how many races you can race, or would you rather be left up to the team owners like yourself to determine that?
We don't need any more rules. I know that for sure. From not racing this weekend, obviously it's the first time in my career that I haven't raced this race in the Nationwide Series since 2000. So for me, the schedule is just it's just all jam-packed in one day, and you used to practice on Thursday afternoon and qualify on Thursday afternoon, and there's too much happening on this particular day, and that's why we chose to not race this race, was strictly from the racetrack schedule. For me, I'm going to race 15 or 16 races as we go through the future. I'm not going to run for the championship again. Obviously, we feel like we're building our team as we did our truck team. I started in the car, and in the Nationwide Series case, Stewart started in the car and helped establish the team, and now I feel like we're getting closer to being competitive week in and week out. So it's always been this way with the Cup drivers in here. We have great developmental series in the Camping World East and West, late models divisions are around the country. This is what the Cup drivers are. A lot of what the people in the grandstands come to see. So, I think there's a couple things that could be done to kind of keep the guys racing for the championship that you want racing for the championship, scheduling and things like that. But the series has been built on Cup guys coming in and running, and the good guys, Carl Edwards and Boyer, and they all made a name for themselves in the Nationwide series racing against the Cup guys. And if you can't race against those guys, then you're not ready to go to the next step.
Further questions for Kevin or John? Or are we good? Oh, there we go. Marty.
I've asked the whole world this. You're an owner. You have a vested interest in NASCAR's policies and the way they enforce them. What was your response to the Gibbs penalties?
Well, I think there's a new promotion that all Toyotas are giving away free magnets with any purchase of a new car, right? But obviously, it's it's something to where, and I truly, honestly feel this. I think that JD and Joe Gibbs don't run their company like that. I think it's obviously not a decision that was made from the top or the people that represent their company. It was a mistake made by somebody who put their own mind to it. I don't think it's a representation of anybody at Joe Gibbs, and I think the penalties were obviously pretty harsh for a situation that I don't think a lot of people had ever seen happen or been involved in. So it's unfortunate because they've had such a great year, and obviously it's going to have a little bit of mud thrown on it. But I hate for it to put anything over what they've accomplished this year. Obviously, it's we all want to win, and when you see things accomplished like that, you don't want it to be tarnished in any way. But unfortunately, the circumstances are what they are. But I just I don't think anybody should point fingers at Joe or JD, and I don't work there. I just know them as from in the garage and talking to them, and they don't get in trouble much. So I don't think a whole lot of mud should be thrown on the organization. I think it was just a bad decision on a few people's part. And I don't know anything about the situation from an internal point, but that's just from the outside looking in.
Further questions? Kevin, have you switched?
I switched. Yes, I did. Switched and saved.
Good. Well
have
done.
You, Alan?
I just found out about it today, so I guess I have to go make some phone calls,
right.
Don't I?
Well, everybody likes to save money.
But I know that I'm going to get to listen to you sing a lot probably
That's right.
for the next couple months. All right, the Nationwide Switch and Save 500 promotion, grand prize going to Vegas next week. John, thank you. John Aman, Associate Vice President for Nationwide Insurance. Mr. Harvick, thank you. And we appreciate your time. Thank you.